201 Squadron.
Yeah.
And you flew with a very famous pilot.
Yeah.
Tell us about him.
Stock. Marvellous bloke. I was a friend of his as well, because he used to come home and see the kiddies and Joyce, my wife. And we got on very well with Betty. And then all of a sudden, when the war was over, he up sticks and went to New Zealand. And then it was a bit difficult.
Because you were married with a child,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so was Les Bavistock and Betty.
Yeah.
And so you had quite a connection.
Yeah.
Did you used to go with them to, to Tenby, to the beach?
Oh, no, I don't remember going with Babby, no. I didn't know him all that well that's when we were traded for that, but...
Where did you link up, where did you crew up with him?
When I first went up to Ireland, Castle Archdale, and he was the pilot then, and then he took us down to Pembroke dock to go from there. But,
and you were a pilot officer?
Pilot officer.
And what was your crew category?
What was that?
What were you in the crew?
I was the officer in charge of the firearms and that, and checking everything.
And did you also work the wireless sets?
Oh yeah, yeah. You used to who was nearest to get on the dial it and get the CO and all that, CO or whatever it was.
So you were what they called a WOP AG?
WOP AG, yeah.
And you were in charge of the WOP
the rest of the crew, yeah.
But you used to do your time on the set?
Yeah.
And then in the turrets as well?
Yeah. We'd all have a break because we were going flying for 10 hours. Quite a long while, time you sort of... Yeah.
And I hear you're quite a good cook.
I was, yeah. I used to make sure we got some home too. Of course, I was living in Joyce and Terry in a little house, Mrs. Hughes, it was in Tenby. And I used to go there. The boys used to come round there again, but mainly I'd be in the main mess. But he came on the little Tinkle. He came on the beach with some of the lads, and the first time he met Joy, and he said, "Your husband," he said, "he won't give us anything to eat." He said, "If he tells us it's too dodgy for him, and you'll all be sick," and he says, he takes the gear home and cooks it for his missus.
But what did you... I mean, the Sunderland had quite a good galley, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
what could you cook on there? And what did you
anything,
cook on?
Anything. Steak, I used to cook steaks and that. Oh, yeah, I used to do well.
Plenty of tea?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No drinks, no beer, no nothing like that. No.
And the flights were quite a long time, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yes. I would say that you go in the morning and you come later on at night almost in the dark. You could go in sometimes. You used to go up in anything. You used to have the bloke tell you what the weather's like. When we were being briefed, he'd say, "Oh yeah, you've got clear skies and this, that and the other." We'd go out and he's pissing down the rain. We used to take off.
That was good Pembroke dock weather.
Yeah.
And of course, you would have to take a long boat trip before you actually got to your aircraft, didn't you?
Oh yeah, well, he used to go up on a couple of the lads used to row the boat there, little what did they call them? Little boats.
I know, little rowing boat.
No. Yeah, yeah.
But you would take off mostly from further down the water,
in the water, yeah.
Down the haven.
More or less where we used to tie up Graham, the bloke Graham, he was the one that used to do all that, get us tied to the night and that, then we go take that off and go somewhere else and take off. But things like that didn't matter in those days.
Did you take off sometimes very close to Pembroke Dock itself?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, one of the days we used to do, it was so bad, the weather, that we had to go across the Pembroke Dock to take off. And on this occasion it was a bad night, terrible. And we're all so holding on tight, saying, "Come on, baby, get it up, get it up, get it up." Because we were going to hit the blooming buildings on the other side of the river. Oh, some days we did.
That was a close call. But,
yeah.
you know, you were as a crew, you always sort of stayed together.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have obviously a very good comradeship, was it?
Yeah, all good lads they were.
Can you remember some of them?
I mean, most of them, I've said it I know all their faces, and I know most of their names. But after the war, of course, I used to correspond with a lad down at Portsmouth, Norman Perry. That was one of the crew. Good lad he was. That was after the war. Used to keep in touch with Betty and Bavy. And then, of course, the upsticks had went to New Zealand. His dad used to run a children's furniture off the over at the East End, and Bavy took me there one day, and we just had the nibs, and he gave me the thing for the kids to sleep in, you know. I did all right.
Thinking about Pembroke Dock in wartime, what do you remember, and what does it conjure up in your memories now?
It wasn't much about, really, when you think what it's supposed to have been. The big place it is now, it's all changed, isn't it? I went there some little time ago and I couldn't believe it. Where I'd see the pub and something outside, that had gone, the pub had been there, but all the attractions outside, like trees and that, and they were all gone. They don't mess about.
But you didn't have a lot of time to yourself in the war,
Not
did
really,
you?
no.
If you weren't with your family in Tenby, you were actually flying or on the aircraft.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We'd only do it when we weren't wanted, but they soon got us back to take off, and that was that.
Do you remember any particularly, what we might say, hairy trips? You know,
Well,
difficult.
the worst one was we were looking for the house to roofer, and we come through we were told we weren't allowed to drop the bomb. We had £200 for the boat, or even for the submarines. And we weren't allowed to drop that bomb on the ship if you were so down like 200 feet or 200 yards from the height. Otherwise, by the time the sun had got through to the end of the boat, it'd blow you out the sky. Yeah.
But you gave it a squirt from the rear turret, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Well, I just lost my young brother, and my other brother, Albert, he'd been shot down twice, and he was also in the RAF. He was flying from Tring, and they went out dropping mines in the nearest camps for the boats and all that, the others, and anyway, they got caught and had to crash land. And they got out of that, and I had to get back, walk back, all of them, through the desert to Alexandria. And unfortunately, the mobs for that weren't too sure whether we were going to win the war or the Germans were going to win the war. But as we were going, somebody used to tell these, they was giving us, guiding us where we got to go to get back. And we were given the old fanny about how well we were doing and where we were going to win. And in the end, they used to come and join in. I used to, instead of we starting off, we got back, it was in the evening paper, 100 prisoners we took in.
He was involved in that?
Yeah, no, I wasn't, but
no,
Albert's story.
Yes. But your younger brother was lost on Pembroke.
Bobby, yeah.
And then soon after, you came up against the blockade runner, the RAFA.
Yeah.
And when you went over it, what did you do?
Well, we didn't realise it, but we were keeping up with a fair height, they said. Then you broke through the clouds, and there, the first time we saw it, was just up there nice and easy. So I'm in the back rear turret, lifting up the old gun, all the way down the ship. Babby said, "Who's that firing? Who's that firing?" I said, "It's me, in the rear turret." He said, "Oh, I never told you to fire." I said, "No." I said, "But they just killed my young brother." And that was it. Got a bit of my own back.
That was from Loch Earn, wasn't it? That was from Castle Archdale.
Yeah.
But at Pembroke Dock, there was so much activity, wasn't there, with that time of D-Day?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was nice up in Ireland. It was nice.
Did you fly? Do you remember flying around the time of D-Day, when they invaded Europe? The Allies invaded Europe. Oh. Were you flying then?
No.
No.
Bevy was still in.
That's right. Yes.
You see, because
you went on that crew then, were you?
I had to go. Well, I'd done my time.
Yeah.
And I had to go back in the police force. When the war was over, and they let me go sharp with that. That was it. But had a good time.
There was this the parade. I'm very interested in the parade. Oh. Tell us about the parade.
Well, we used to have a Sunday parade, and if we were out flying, we always came back over the parade ground. You see all the blokes down there all dressed up with a Sunday church, and then we'd open up and flush the toilets over. Who did it? They threw me down there. We got it. And,
Nobody said anything when you came down?
No, it's all right.
And what was the toilet on the Sunderland then?
Oh, it was only one little toilet that you had to choose, because it's only about, well, our crew there's 10, I think, but sometimes we didn't have that many. But all depends where we were going. We had that little cookie, it's in the book, the little girl. She came, but she didn't come on ops, they wouldn't let her go on ops. But she used to go for a flight now and again.
Who was she?
Cookie. Australia, was it? I think something like that.
Was she a child, was she?
No, she was either American. We had an American pilot as well when we were up in there. He got sent home because he got on the piss too much. Yeah. Our governor, Van der Kist, he said, "Look, I'm not having you flying and going up there half cut." So he said, "You can go back to America again." I went like that. Yeah.
You mentioned Van der Kist. What was he like?
He was a lovely fella, lovely governor. That was down in Pembroke.
You remember him well?
Oh, yeah. We came back off and up. You got to go up the mess, and there was a pint of beer for every one of us as we went in. And of course, I didn't drink in those days. I don't drink now, really. And I always just get one near me so I knew there was another pint going. Yeah, he's a nice bloke. The one we really got upset about